guys. Be right on. Yay, I love seeing your faces. Thanks, Carol, Carla. Yay. I'm so much more comfortable like when I can see you guys, so thank you. Um, Let me just pull up the docs. I think we're gonna have like quite a few new people today, but I'm super excited because I did something amazing. I just stumbled on this. Actually, it was last week we tested it. Well, let me wait until I'll give it a couple minutes for people to come in and then I'll start my spiel. Hi. Let me open the chat and I'll drop some links in there. Oh, I sent out, I put in the invite a link to the deck, and also into the website. So it's EAwiz.com. I'm just forwarding that to this tool for now. One second. So you should have received an updated invite and the links will be there, but also it's in the chat, the link. It's just eawiz.com. I'm forwarding it there. And okay. All right. So welcome to anyone who's new. I know we've got quite a few more people this week. So I was playing around ChatGPT and I created a custom GPT, but I wanted to, like on the back end, like include really thorough directions. You know, we've all used ChatGPT. We've all, like, what's an example? So we've all, like, probably if we were searching for a job, have asked for ChatGPT's help with a cover letter, right? But like I get so frustrated when I'm having to, or in the beginning at least, like I would say, okay, give me a cover letter for this job. And then I would post the job description. And then, you know, I would get like I would get a letter back, but then I'm constantly having to like communicate to ChatGPT. Okay, research the company values and align that with my resume. And then I have to remember to upload my resume. And then, you know, I started learning like, okay, well, I want to include like accomplishments. I don't want it to be so obvious that it's ChatGPT generated. So like, how can I customize this? So it's just like a back and forth, um, you know, like dialogue that I'm having with ChatGPT to get it like customized. And I thought, if I included like instructions, super detailed instructions on like how it can prompt you for each tool, if you want to go to eawiz.com and you'll see it's going to be a web app, so it'll look beautiful. But for now, it's just like your regular Chat GPT. You'll have to log in. It's flagged as porn. Okay. Sorry, Lauren. Um, it's not. Um, so yeah, I don't know. I know and feel free to come off of mute anytime, you guys, if this is your first session, if you have any questions or you want me to stop. You can always just take yourself off of mute, like you don't need to raise your hand. Let's see, unless I'm in the middle of something really amazing, then raise your hand. Okay, so let me pull it up. I'll share my screen then so you guys can see what I'm doing. 1 second. Share. Okay, so EAwiz, Ultimate AI Toolkit for Assistants. So here I said you can ask it anything, just it's ChatGPT, do your usual thing. Or if you type #tools, it's going to give you a list of a bunch of different tools that I instructed it like to walk you through. So I'll just let this populate. And then to access any of the tools, you'll just write #whatever. And then it's gonna give you that dialogue. So if you're doing LinkedIn, like hopefully it's gonna ask you for your current LinkedIn profile. And then, you put the link, and then it's gonna ask you to upload your resume. And then it's gonna pull your information. It's gonna ask you, is this resume current? Or do you have anything to add? And then it'll walk you through that. If you, oh, I haven't added my most recent job. Okay, let's do that. And it'll walk you through that. And then you'll go section by section. Oh, it'll also ask you, like, are you looking to target a different role than the one you're currently in? If you are, it's going to ask you to paste a job description for the new role. Say you want to go for a chief of staff and you think you've got the skills, whatever, you can paste a chief of staff job description or two. Also, the instructions for like any kind of like output, say it's a cover letter, I have it automatically like programmed or whatever to give you 3 options of whatever the output is. So I know that like when I'm having it write me something, like I always ask for multiple options. It's my little like pro tip. I always ask for multiple options, and usually like there's things from all 3 that I like, and I end up like merging them. But also depending on the tool, it'll ask you like how familiar you are. So say you did #Notion, or if I did it, I would say like beginner. It's going to ask you, are you beginner, advanced, whatever, and then it will tailor the output based on like where you're at with that. So I'll just go through. So we've got career, LinkedIn. Am I sharing my screen? Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Coaching, where it's just going to like be a career coach for you. And it's going to ask you all kinds of questions to customize the experience. So it's like what you want. Like I know a lot of times, like it'll show me something and I'm like, oh, I didn't even realize that, that I could do that. Or like, when you're using Perplexity, that's great about like suggesting things after your prompt. Like, hey, did you think about this, this, and this? Like, I love that. I love going down that rabbit hole. So, it will automatically like suggest related things at the end of it. Say you just want like a quick answer, you don't want to be bothered with like having it ask you a ton of questions. You can just say #quick assist, and that will give you a quick output. But let me go back down. Okay, business operations. So executive reporting. If you want to like be walked through, how to hold on, sorry. Okay, so we won't go through everyone, but there's a ton. I'll scroll down more for those of you that can't log in. I know someone, whoever's unmuted, can you guys all just mute for me? Thank you. Or maybe I can. There we go. Okay. So these are all the tools. And then if you guys have any suggestions, so last week I was kind of like playing with this and I asked the group for suggestions, and I tried to like incorporate a tool for everything that you guys wanted, but I'm always going to be like adding to this. Oh, also about this group. Sorry, let's pretend we just started. So we are a group of EAs that meet every week. We're all like super excited about AI and just want to learn like how we can use AI to like improve our life at work. So we've been meeting for like 4 months now, every week, and we have a great group, and we demo tools. I have people coming in from like VimCal or Execify or different like productivity tools. We have ShareCal, Haifa from ShareCal. She'll be on in a couple weeks. And that's it. We just share like what we've done that week and what we've learned. And coming soon, we're going to have it's EAwiz.com, and it will be an actual website. It's going to have a community forum so we can like communicate during the week, and some other really cool things. So stay tuned for that. That's coming next month. And that's for me and Molly. Molly and I, me and Molly. Okay, productivity and task automation. So some of these are probably like redundant. Like, do I need calendar and meetings? But they're different, I promise. Data visualization, like when I'm doing Excel stuff, like I'm horrible at pivot tables, and like don't ask me to create like I can put a picture of a graph on, but it's not going to show the data that I want it to. I just one thing I'll never learn. So anyway, that's why I created that one. Gamma's pretty much, that's what I use for like any deck that I have. I guess speaking of deck, I'll like flip through the deck in a second, but I made it too long and then I was running out of time. So it's the deck is a little bit extra, but let's go through it real quick. Can you guys see that? Did it switch? Okay. I'm just going to go through this super fast. If you guys care to read it like in detail, it's I put it in this week's meeting invite. Also the formatting screwed up, but this is what it is. So why I created it, like mentioned that in the beginning. Again, this is 400 pages of instructions on the back end that will just force information out of you and really target the output of the ChatGPT. So you don't have to have the paid version, but you do have to log into an account. It can't be anonymous. Whatever you type, I don't see as with any like custom GPT that you use, like everything's always just for you. What else? Okay. Why hashtags? I just did that as an easy reference for the different tools that it has. So everything's broken down into sections like you saw. So there's career growth. These are some examples. You guys can go through this, like just the specifics of that. Let's get in and actually demo it, okay? Okay, someone come off of mute and give me one.
Give you one what?
Give me one of these tools. Pick a tool. Okay,
The pivot table one. The pivot table one.
Oh, let's circle back to the pivot tables because that's not going to be a great selling point for this because I don't know what I'm doing with charts and graphs. Let's just go to LinkedIn. I'll try that. See, I get like hives even thinking about.
I love the performance review one and the goals because that one's always so hard for admins to work on.
Yeah. So it'll walk you through it. So step one, and I have it only asking you one question at a time. When I first like did this, it would tell you all at once every question it was going to ask you, and then like you have to scroll up and oh, did I answer this one? So it's programmed to just ask you one question at a time. So what's your main goal? Job search. Next step. Current LinkedIn. It should also, if you just have like a generic URL for your LinkedIn, I think somewhere in here and if not, I'll add that. It'll prompt you to like, do you want to create a custom URL? Because that's always good. jot down some notes real quick. Custom. Okay. So, you get the picture. So, I'll say chief of staff. Chief of staff, so since I gave it my profile, it already checked my profile. I want it to ask you for your resume. So it will ask for your resume first. Anyway, and then
Automatically link up with LinkedIn? Like, will it be able to just jump in there or do we have to give it a URL address for
no,
the?
you'll have to, yeah, like it's gonna ask you right off the bat for your
Okay.
LinkedIn. So that's there. And then it confirmed, I see your LinkedIn profile. Let's proceed with optimizing. So you just go through and answer the questions. Like I said, I have it set to always give you 3 options. So for the headline, what one do I want for the headline? So I would say headline B, and then for about, okay, so you get the picture. It's going to walk you through like thoroughly. And then it's going to ask you for your accomplishments. And so it's going to be like customized. It's not going to be like, how much do we see these like generic, like we've seen the same things in people's headlines. It's probably in mine. I'm about to like talk shit about it, but like culture creator, like I had that forever. There's just these like canned descriptions. Culture, what do I create? Anyway, so that's LinkedIn. So I think that's super useful. And I just kind of learned this stuff over like what job was it that I applied for at Atlassian, right? The quickest I've ever heard back. So I get an email. I apply for Atlassian. I upload my cover letter, which honestly was amazing. But and then I get an email back in 5 minutes, and I'm like, huh, that's the quickest someone's ever shown interest. Anyway, they're like, no, thank you. And I was like, what the heck? So um uh here I am thinking like they love me, and no, it didn't even, like, no one even got to see it, or maybe they did and hated it. But anyway, it got turned down immediately. So as much as companies say like, oh, we want you to be like AI focused, like also if it's obviously like nothing personalized, that doesn't look good. Okay, so that's LinkedIn. What else? Let's try Coach. See what that's about. If you forget the tools at any time, just type #tools and it'll give you that list. Also, if you have any suggestions, add me on LinkedIn. It's Courtney Solves, and I'll put it in the chat, but I would love to hear any suggestions. I want to really like just make this super robust or if you're doing a tool on your own and you see like, hey, it would have been helpful if it asked me this. Send me all your tips and I will get them incorporated. But I wanted it to be like a one-stop, ChatGPT can do all this, right? But are we all able to communicate what we want exactly to ChatGPT? And I think it's just saving us all time, like to have these like back end instructions. I know, is Jackie on here today? Jack. So I asked some of you guys to demo this earlier than others, and I would love to hear anyone's like thoughts or experiences with oh my gosh,
Can I ask something? I'm sorry. Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt.
No, come on.
So this is my first time. Hi.
Welcome.
So I just logged in and I'm looking at your deck and I'm trying to do this as you're doing it.
Yeah.
So I just did the same prompt, coach. And
Yeah.
I'm getting different things than you're getting. So am I doing something wrong?
No, so what happens when you hit hashtag coach, when you type that in?
So I got, so when you typed it in, right, coaching AI powered, mine says, let's dive in deeper. And it says first question, like it's totally different than all of your stuff.
So let's do this. Maybe it's linked to, because that's what this is, right? So
Like I'll put it in the chat right now.
Are you
sure,
in the
put it,
custom-
or do you want
are
to
in
share
the
your
custom
screen?
GPT?
It's not going to be like verbatim the same thing every time, but it should be like a
Here,
general
I just put it in the
approach.
chat.
Okay, let me see.
Feels like, I guess
And
it's a little
you're in
different.
Gabrielle, you're in the custom GPT, not just chat GPT?
I went into the EAwiz one.
Okay, so you're in the
Okay.
custom. Okay.
Yeah,
Just
I just
making
want to
sure.
make sure.
No, so this is right. So it's not gonna be like the same verbiage like every time, but it's gonna ask, that first question is asking you, it's wanting you to narrow down like what type of coaching you want. So,
Okay.
and now I understand your question. I'm sorry. So yeah, the words aren't gonna be identical. Like if someone else were to type in hashtag coaching, like you'll get different words, but it's the same goal. Like question number one is to find out what specifically you want.
Okay, I wasn't sure if there was like some back end thing and it would
Yeah,
get
no,
up
I'm
and-
glad you asked that. I'm
Okay.
glad you asked that. Thank you.
All right.
Let's see what else did I. Cheryl, is yours, even though it's different, is it still like targeted to figure out where you want help?
Yes, it is. When you answered her, Gabrielle's question, it clarified. So
Okay.
thank you.
Okay, good. So far, things are good. Okay. Does it get to know you more? You use it some. So again, this is ChatGPT. But because it's a custom GPT for now, it's not going to remember the way ChatGPT does. It's not going to remember previous sessions. Like now, if I use ChatGPT, I can say like, I use the voice assistant all the time. And we can talk about that like at the end if you guys want, but like I can't suggest that enough. But I do that every day. And so when I'm talking to the voice assistant, like I can say, when did I interview for that job? I haven't heard back from him yet, and I thought I killed it at the interview. And then boom, September 17th, you applied for that job. So ChatGPT will remember everything. This, can you use voice assistant with EAwiz? I never tried that yet, but I see here you can. So if you can use voice assistant on the regular ChatGPT, then yes, you have it here.
Can I ask you, Courtney?
Sorry, I can't. Oh, hi.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Hi.
Oh, can I ask you, did you kind of make changes after you sent me the link?
Yeah, I did. I've been making
Okay, good.
changes all week. Why did
Oh,
you
okay.
not?
Because-
Did something go away?
No. Only because when you did the demo just now, and you know how you said it shows you like one question at a time.
Mm.
But I think it's great because the link I used over the weekend gave me everything all at once, which at first I was like, whoa. But I mean, it still worked. I still loved it, you know? And it's not like I had to scroll back up to like the first question. It actually.
But it's
just says-
overwhelming for sure.
Yeah, but it just says, where do you want to start? So it's like, let's start with one, and then, and of course it remembers what it showed me, so then it went through everything step by step anyway.
Yeah.
And, it's great, it would help me, you know, I told you I picked the LinkedIn one, and help me kind of like optimize it, and, you know. So I have like everything from beginning to end, I haven't done anything on LinkedIn yet. But I have everything, and it's like, it's great, you know.
Oh, I'm so glad you liked it. Did
Yeah,
anyone
I love
else?
the questions, very thoughtful, helped me with reflection, and, yeah, it's great,
I love it. Thank you so much, Jackie,
thanks.
for sharing. Did anyone else? From
Hi as well, Courtney. It's Susie.
Hi, Susie.
When you sent it to me, and I used it to optimize my LinkedIn profile, and I absolutely adored it. I just have to tell you, I thought it was great because it literally took me step by step, and then it would ask me like about the headline, and then it's like, okay, are you okay with this, or do you want to change it? And I'm like, oh, can you tweak it? I like number 1 and 2 together, put them together, and then it would do that, and then it would be like, okay, are you ready to move on to the next part of LinkedIn? So I absolutely adored it. So thank you so much for this. This is fantastic. One thing I did want to ask though,
Yes.
is if I close that browser off on where I did my LinkedIn, am I able to like next time, and you might have already answered this, sorry, my dog, I was busy with my dog, but next time I log into this, will I be able to see that conversation or does it get deleted completely? You know how on regular chat,
Oh, is it in your history?
yeah.
Okay, everyone close their eyes for a second. Um, okay, there's nothing incriminating there. Let me see. No, it doesn't. So that sucks. Yeah, it's not going to have a history. So like I said, this is like like the test version. I'm going to like, it's going to cost money, but I'm going to have a developer like turn it into like a web app. So you'll log in, you'll have a username and password. It won't look identical. It won't obviously be ChatGPT. It's going to be ChatGPT, but it'll look different. And I'll have the features built in so that, you know, you have your, no, so I'll have it built in so that you can view your history. That's something that like a developer has to like enable, and that's beyond like my scope. Anything beyond what you see now is going to be beyond my scope of, you know, I've reached the top of what my knowledge can do. So yeah, that's a good point.
But can I be sure I understand the question? So like what I did over the weekend, you're saying we'll be able to access it? Because I was able to get it today and I'm on a
Alright.
different computer and everything.
Let me turn up my volume. I'm so sorry. Jackie, was that you that was talking?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, so you do see your history?
Yeah, I mean, from what, from the link that you sent me and all the work that I did, I started over the weekend and I kept doing some every night and then now I'm in a different computer, different location, and I'll be
Oh.
able to access it.
I mean,
under AI
yes, it
tools
does.
overview.
Okay, thanks for
It looks
that.
like you have it too, like where yours says yesterday, AI tools overview. I don't know if is that the history from?
Is that the
The
AI
history
tools
of
over?
what
Yeah, well, this was just me trying to get, oh, you're right.
if you go to yesterday, is
Yeah.
that like the same?
Yesterday would be me, this is me trying to get it programmed, like trying to,
Oh, okay.
yeah, it does, so it does list it in your history. So, okay, good to know. What else? Anyone else have any
I have a
questions?
question.
Yeah.
I was wondering, Susie, if what your LinkedIn profile name is. I'd love to go and look at it since you did it with chat and
Yeah,
maybe connect.
it's, I'll put it in the chat if anybody wants to
Perfect.
connect. I'll have it
Thank
there.
you. And then my other question is for Courtney. So last week, you gave us the EAwiz chat, and I had it in left-hand column, like it's seen on your screen, and then it disappeared. Is that because you like were fixing it, or
Oh,
does it not
so when
stay
I
there?
sent it out asking you to demo it and to,
I know from last week's call, I
From last
had
call.
it in my chat, like in my chat GPT, and then I noticed it just disappeared. So I wondered if you like recalled it or.
yeah, so that I did. So it was after, so I had two custom GPTs. Like whenever you make a custom GPT, it shows up here where it says EAwiz. Like I have Miguel, that's the custom GPT I made for my boss. So it'll list your custom GPTs up here. Anyway, I had two EAwiz while I was trying to figure out like how to program these instructions. And it was just easier for me to start a new one. So I didn't even think to that a new link would be generated. So sorry for any confusion. But now I just have it. If you go to EAwiz until the actual site's up and running, it's just forwarded to this working version. And this is it. Like I'm aside from like adding additional tools, like I'm not customizing anything else. I'm like really happy with it. So this link won't change. You'll always be able to access it there.
Thank you.
Yeah.
If you are still looking for things to go through, I always struggle with KPIs, so that would be an interesting one to work through.
Yeah, so I did add that. Let's just let's try that. Hold on. Okay, I'm not good at keeping up with the chat. Hi, Mayumi. Yes, I'll post the link. So it's just eawiz.com.
Yeah, I got it. Then I
Oh.
realized my company policy is blocking it. So I'll try for my personal account.
Okay, yeah, I know that sometimes, but the security policies at work, like if I'm at work, anyway, I know that that's the case sometimes. Sorry, I don't know, I don't have a way around that other than people have said if they log in on their personal, that it works great. So, okay, so yeah, sorry you guys that can't access it. Okay, that's that. Let's do KPIs. Um, so again, to start the process, I would just type tools in case I don't know what I want to do, or you can just ask it your question if you know. But if you ask it your question, it's ChatGPT. So it's just going to be the same. It's ChatGPT. But if you want this guided like process, like step-by-step process, these are the options. So I see down here. I'll just go through the list like slowly for anyone that joined late. Um,
Can you send that list to us or?
for like those of you that can't access it, you mean? Like I can.
Yeah, where can I find this list?
Yeah, just type hashtag tools when you go to EAwiz.com, like the first, or here, when you go to EAwiz.com, right here, you can just click this button too if you want in the middle. And that will give you a list of all the tools. And then also in the,
Why? Mine doesn't look like that. Why don't
sorry.
I don't have that button?
So let's see. So why don't you like refresh? Let's go to, so here, you're looking at where it says EAwiz with the little owl.
Yeah, no. I have like, oh, okay. Wait, no.
So
Oh,
if you don't see the owl, you're not on the EAwiz. It might just be the regular ChatGPT.
oh, okay. Um,
No?
I don't, oh no, okay, I found it. I just don't have an out. Mine just, maybe I have a different version, but I found it. It just doesn't look like that. Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so, or you can, like I said, just where it says ask anything, you'll type hashtag tools. And if you ever forget like what all the tools are, just type that and it'll show you the list. So we'll just test out KPIs. I've never actually done that. But I'm not good at that either. So KPI. Hashtag KPI. Wait for this to finish. I also haven't tried templates yet, and I want that to be amazing. So let's hope it's amazing. There's even custom GPT if you want to like learn how to do this yourself, to make one yourself. Or like for your work, you want to upload work documents like your company, handbook, SOPs, stuff like that. And then you can share the custom GPT like with your team and I don't know. Molly's the one I would go to for help with that. So let's see, KPI, enter. What does it have? So it's got the step-by-step questions. And so I don't know, let's say productivity. Oh, and you could, customize your, you could spend more time on your answers. Like I was generic, but if I wanted to, I could say, productivity just for junior executive or for administrative assistants, level 1, whatever. And then it would kind of ask you from there, well, what's a level 1? Like, what can you paste that job description? Is what I'm guessing it would show. But so these are just like standard. And then it asks you, no, I like them. Let's see what it says next. See, like, I would never think to do this. I would ask ChatGPT, like, what are KPIs for EAs? And then it would give me like a list of generic ones, and I would call it, I'd say, okay, great, I have KPIs now. But like, I love that it's just constantly asking you more and more questions to really target that output. I use, I don't know, I use Asana and Google Workspace. I use neither, but so I love it.
This is so great, Courtney.
And it'll just go on and on and on. And we could, do that for the rest of the call. But let's see. Let's just test a couple. Let's test. I don't even remember.
Sorry, I missed the beginning of the meeting. So this is a customized GTP for the need of the EAs, and all the information we upload will be open source. Is that correct?
No, it's the same rules apply as if you were using ChatGPT. So I don't see anything, like me being the quote developer. I don't see anything that you type, but this is ChatGPT. It's just ChatGPT with like 400 pages of instructions on the back end to tell ChatGPT how to perform and how to answer the user's questions. But this is ChatGPT.
I see. Thank you.
So you can either ask it, how you would talk to it the same way you would ChatGPT, or you can, if you type that hashtag tools, that's the value in this, is being able to get that one-on-one where it pulls the information out of you.
Hey, Courtney, I have a question. Remember, this is Ariadne, sorry. Remember last week, I think we were doing that thing where you can do a simulated interview, like asking ChatGPT to kind of interview. Can you do that also with, if there's like development tab or something where you can say, interview me, whether it's for promotion or for.
Yeah, what did I make that as? I remember you wanting that last week. So I think I just put that under either career or coaching. Let's see. So let's try career.
Hey, Courtney.
Yeah.
Really quick, while you're doing that, I just don't want to miss this in the chat. Are we allowed to share EAwiz links with other EAs outside of this group?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so you can just share EAwiz.com, and I'm going to keep that live until it gets turned into something better, like a web app.
Okay, just think that's helpful for everybody here. That's a great question. And then Marlene, I think it'd be great if you want to share your screen and show us that Gantt chart, because that's pretty badass.
Oh, I didn't. Let me see the chat.
Yeah, like
I'll stop
missing some
sharing.
good stuff in the chat here.
What did I
She
miss?
said I needed a Gantt chart. Sorry, and it created one in Excel. Hello.
Yeah.
Did
Can you share
this
your
do that,
screen?
or was it something else?
Hold on, I'm just catching up with that. Marlene, first of all, guys, please show some of your faces so I don't feel so lonely. Thanks. Thank you. But no pressure. I'm just reading your guys' comments. I love this. So if you can share the Gantt chart, if you're not comfortable, that's fine too. And Susie, where's your link again? I want to see what you did. Okay, I see. Susie B, what a great URL. Hi, Becky. Hi, Matt. Oh, Mallory, hi. So, okay, I don't want to log in and all that right now. So anyway, what else? What do you guys think? So Ariana, so it would be when you go into that career, I'll share my screen again. Sorry.
That's okay. I'm taking notes.
Yeah, just when you go into career, you can say, like, when it starts asking you, oh, this is what I wanted to share. Wait. So say it starts off, because since it's programmed to only ask you one question at a time, like let's say you're not looking to like apply for a job. So I would say #skip. And that would skip that question. So then it would go to, I'm going to create one that's just for interview prep.
Perfect.
And then say you forget, oh, I remember that there was something I could type that would, go to the next question. I don't remember. #help. So big on hashtags here. And let's see. Oh, you know what? Let's try coach again.
While you're doing that, Courtney, you know what would be great too? I don't know if it's possible. One of the things that I find challenging for people that are out there looking for new jobs, especially if you've been someplace like me for a long time, is you don't have an idea in the industry what a good salary is or what a comparable salary is. And I'm wondering if there's a way, whether it's you taking a survey of us and we anonymously share or not so anonymously share our salaries, just so that there's some sort of baseline. Because sometimes I feel like people are looking at interesting jobs, but then they're looking at the base salary and they're not really understanding if that's industry standard or getting lowballed or what should it be given the years of experience, yada yada.
Yeah, that's a great question. And there's definitely like groups that do those like anonymous. That's out of my realm, but like I know there's like people like EA Mafia or Robert Half that definitely before you go looking for a new job, you have to do your market research, find out, like, do your research on what it, and not just like EA general, but like a breakdown of the different like classes, the different levels of EAs and what they get paid per city. So absolutely. Off the top of my head, I know just Robert Half. But let's see if we go into resources.
EA How To, Alicia Faircloth, they do all that stuff too.
Okay, thanks, Becky. EA How To. I'll put that. Put that in the chat. Robert Half. That's just off the top of my head, but like when I first moved to Florida, so 3 years ago, I was just like, I never left Vegas my whole life. So born and raised there, I was there, 45 years. And when I came to Florida, like it didn't even occur to me that like, oh, people get paid more here, like a lot more here. So anyway, so I go on this job interview for Club Med. It was the EA to the CEO. She asked me the HR girl asked me like what my salary range was. And I said $60,000 because that's what I made at my last job in Vegas. And I thought I'm really good. And that was a great salary in Vegas then. Like, so then they came back at me with 65 and I realized like, oh shit, like I screwed up. I should have like done research, thanks, Carmel. 48. Anyway, so, okay. Do you know, I'm seeing this. Oh. Okay, so yeah, I guess you do have, maybe that's the downside of me, having it only ask you one question at a time. Like if you're on a free account, um, maybe, thanks, Ilka. There's another link for salary surveys in the chat. Thanks, Ilka. Maybe I can like work into the programming, like where it can ask you right off the bat, like, hey, welcome to EAwiz. Do you have a free or paid account? And then if it's a free account, maybe I can get it to, instead of that forced behavior of only asking one question at a time, maybe I can just get it to give you that list of questions. And then, you'll have to, and then that way it's less prompts that you're sending to ChatGPT. And so you wouldn't run out of whatever tokens or whatever as quickly. Free or paid. So yeah, the only way around that, like I pay for the $20 a month, and it's the best money I've ever spent, but I understand not everyone, or maybe you pay for a different LLM. So that sucks. Sorry. What else? What else? So I know I did build something in, but let's see. Okay. Let me know your focus. Okay, so I want to research salary. Okay, so don't rely on the salary. Don't rely on this because ZipRecruiter. Like I have a friend that like she's gotten her last two positions on ZipRecruiter. I'm like, who uses that? But
Never heard of them.
I mean, I heard about them like on Howard Stern commercials like 15 years ago. But yeah, I don't know. But she's gotten two jobs from that. But the salary range is wildly off. So I wouldn't I wouldn't rely on any of these numbers. I don't think any of these are accurate.
Yeah, one of
So
the things I find, like at least here in this company, with a lot of admins that have been here for a while, they don't really want to take that leap into the unknown because I think we're gaslit into believing that somehow companies are doing us a huge favor, keeping us in our, sections and not really developing a lot of us the way we should be or paying us what we're worth. So it's, we sort of had a meeting yesterday with a bunch of admins and they were talking about just that, and nobody really shares salaries and nobody's really ever sure. So this is great that at least it gives you a ballpoint figure, or at least it guides you, gives you something, because out there really is nothing for, I mean, you can't rely on HR to.
also definitely do not rely on these numbers. And I would suggest, first of all, just this is personally, but like, if you don't negotiate in the very beginning of that job offer, the chances of you getting like a significant jump are like what, slim to none. Like, so I would just stress the importance, and I've learned this the hard way, like in the past. Also, this position is the first one that like I was brave enough to like come back with and like actually negotiate for myself. And I'm so glad I did. Like I would hear people say, never take the first offer. They give you that offer assuming you're going to counter. And I was just like, I'm super passive. And but I came back with a counter, and I ended up getting. I'm sure someone else could have done better, but I was happy with this. I got like 10,000 more base, and then professional development I negotiated, and I don't know, something else. So, but my point is, if you've been somewhere for a long time, and if you're, in love with your role and you're over the moon, and then stay, right? But if you're not like if you've been somewhere a long time and you haven't like gotten an increase, you know, someone that they're hiring today is, you know, likely going to be offered a higher salary. I would definitely do my research and definitely see what's out there, and don't just stay somewhere because you're
I know,
comfortable.
100%. You know, I think, well, when I was at Blackstone and I came here, Blackstone pays better because it's a private equity. So here they actually were trying to somehow convince me that I should take a little bit less because otherwise I would be so way above everyone else. And I remember like sort of like feeling, really, you would ask this of other people, but it is sort of the thing that you don't have assistants that really know how to advocate for themselves because for the most part they don't feel they can or should. And sometimes like that's hard too because you have to sort of like the way you were able to negotiate. I wish more people were like that, but a lot of people are not, especially if you really haven't had anyone to sort of guide you or tell you that this can work. Um, so it really is sometimes a mindset issue too, with
This
how
is
we.
a perfect example of something that I would use the voice assistant for, right? Like I get home, I get in my car after work. Like everything that you just said, the same way you said it, like that would take forever to like sit and type, right? But like if you're in the car and you hit that voice assistant button and you just explain everything that you just said to me, like sure enough, you're gonna get like personal, like a counselor pops up, right? And the more you explain and just like, you know, casual like you just did, um, you're gonna like get advice. Like it's great. Like I use it for everything and I suggest you guys do too because like
This is a
my life
question.
is amazing.
This is a question for the group, but do you guys in your companies split up admins between exempt and non-exempt? Like for example,
Yeah.
here you do. Okay.
Wait, one company having some that are
Yeah.
exempt and
Yeah.
some,
So like
Yes.
what it comes
There's
down. Go ahead.
so for the company that I work for, because she's been there for 53 years, her title is an executive administrator, but she's been with it's a family company. And then there's another one as well. There's only two, but everyone else is hourly.
So it's thanks Esme. It's not like up to the company. Like there's like, I mean, it's regulated. There's very particular rules. It's a if you fall under a certain category, then you're eligible for overtime, right? Like I know at Blackstone, I was eligible for overtime, and that key difference was because I didn't you know, I didn't manage anyone. That was the deciding factor between, you know, me and another EA that was not eligible for overtime. Then there's other companies where, again, this is like, you know, regulated, like and it, you can go to just Google exempt versus non-exempt test, and it'll list the criteria. One of the like fine lines was, okay, I book, like if you book meetings on behalf of your executive, do you have like the autonomy or whatever to book without like going and asking him or her like for what times they would want this particular meeting scheduled. If you do, then you're not eligible for overtime. If you find that you do meet all those criteria and you should be getting overtime, I mean, that's something, you know, you can you know, think about the overtime that you work and how much that would add up to, and you know, think about maybe going and talking to someone, you know, supervisor or someone in HR to ask, you know, why it is that you're non-exempt. That's just my advice. But yeah, that's what I've got. And anyone that wants to jump in here, like that has any. Yeah, thanks, Becky.
I was like trying to find a raise my hand button and I couldn't find it anywhere.
Yeah, always jump in, please.
Okay. A good way to do this is speak to each other. Speak to each other about what you're making. You are allowed to speak. You are allowed to, you know, share what your salaries are. There is no law or limitation to that. One of the ways that I got a raise was by knowing what somebody made below me. They were making $26,000. They were below me. I was their lead admin, so I was processing all of their paperwork. So I went to advocate for myself. So, have these conversations, find out what other people are making. If you don't feel comfortable doing it within your company, for sure you should feel comfortable talking to your peers outside of the company. But the best knowledge that you're going to gain is doing it with your peers. And then that's how within the company, and that is how you can start advocating for yourself, because you have the hard fact numbers, right? And it's the company who is convincing you that we can't talk about this stuff, but we absolutely can. So I encourage you to, and I encourage you to lean on each other and, use this information to empower yourself. Okay.
Becky. Carmel, did you?
Yeah, I was actually back before can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah. When you were talking about the voice feature, if you download the app onto your phone, then I find that's when I use the voice the most, because if I'm waiting for the kids or at my parents trying to help my dad set something up on his phone, it's just like I talk into it and it spits out, it's the faster Googling.
Yeah.
And the other thing that I just thought of as Becky was talking, I recently received a pay increase, and it was after a conversation with my boss, and he mentioned two words. Well, first of all, he wanted me to come to him with a number, and during the conversation, he said the value. Think about the value you bring. So it's not just the tasks that you're accomplishing, but the value, and then the fact that through my first year at the company, I took ownership of some things that were not on the job description. So he kind of prompted me, but then also I was like, oh, yeah, there was nothing in my job description about culture. It's a smaller company. And I just took ownership of that and started bringing stuff to the table. And so, anyways, I was able to kind of take those two words, ownership and value, and that helped me negotiate higher than what I was even going to ask for. So,
Oh, I love that. That's
just
great.
little tips. Mhm.
Also, I think all of us should have like a document that we constantly add to. Like, if you don't write something down, like, then chances are you're not going to remember it when it comes time for your review. Like, have an accomplishments document. Anytime you do something that's like, outside of the realm of your job description, or like, how many of us even remember what our job description was? Not all of us. I can say that. So, or just any kind of like accomplishment. Keep track of that so that you don't forget it, because I don't remember yesterday. So like, I would have no hope like remembering anything that would be significant enough to, get me a bump. So I would just recommend having that or even like a note on your iPhone, like have some file where you're logging everything. But that's great. I love hearing that. Congratulations, and super like proud of you that you like, went and advocated for yourself in that way.
And you can also keep that list and use it to update your resume. So what I do is every time I start doing something new, I learn something new, or I have an accomplishment, I send myself a note, I put it in my resume file, and then when it's time, I go through and I update my resume with that information.
Thanks, Becky. So it's not usually just me like talking the whole time. Like, it's normally like all of us, pitching in on like what we did, but I was just excited to share this. So I hope you guys come back next week or for future sessions. We don't have anything lined up for next week. So Mayumi, next week I will have a topic and I will have an agenda that I post just for you. So I meant to do that this week, and I got obsessed with trying to get like I literally finished the instructions for this GPT like it's 15 minutes ago. Like for an hour this morning, nothing was even working. So now I'm just like done, forget it. I'm not touching it unless I add something. So anyway, thanks everyone for coming. I hope you find it useful. And please reach out to me, send me a message on LinkedIn if you like have any hiccups or any suggestions or anything like that. Thanks,
everyone.
Okay,
so
bye
much.
guys.
Thank you.
Bye, Mallory. It's
Thank
good to see you. Becky, good to see you. Everyone, Ilka, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. And I tried to record this, so let's see if it recorded, I'll upload it to YouTube or something, and I'll put the link in. So fingers crossed that it worked out. So I'm going to sign off before it's an hour just to make sure there's no hiccups there. Okay, bye guys. Thanks.